Welcome to Stoic Today, YouTube. We're truly honored to have you here. This isn't just a channel, it's a movement. A space for those who grind in silence, grow without noise, and rise without asking for permission. Before we dive into today's powerful message, take just a few seconds of your time. Click the subscribe button, leave a thoughtful comment, and join a growing community of disciplined minds, relentless dreamers, and purpose-driven warriors. Thank you for your presence. Now let's get into what separates those who talk about success from those who quietly build it. They're here to become undeniable. The truth is, the ones who make the biggest impact aren't fighting to be heard, they're working to be felt. And when their moment arrives, they don't need to speak their results, do all the talking. So if you're grinding quietly, building something no one understands, yet keep going. Your silence is not weakness, it's preparation. It's power. It's proof that real greatness doesn't announce itself, it emerges fully formed. Subscribe to Stoic Today right now to fuel your inner fire with purpose-driven content that sharpens your focus, fortifies your mindset, and honors the power of discipline. Drop a comment. What are you building in silence that the world will one day respect? Share this message with someone who's grinding in the shadows and remind them they're not alone and their time is coming. Move in silence. Win in plain sight. Your legacy is being built right now. Think about a sniper for a moment, deadly accurate, locked in, and utterly silent. Have you ever seen one shouting before pulling the trigger? Of course not. Because real power doesn't need volume, it needs precision. This is how silent hustlers operate. In a world full of noise, distraction, and people shouting about what they plan to do, the ones who actually win are the ones who don't broadcast, they build. They don't talk about their goals, they attack them quietly, daily, relentlessly. Their silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. And while others are looking for approval, they're too busy achieving results. Silent hustlers don't need external validation. They aren't in it for the claps or the likes. They're driven by a deeper engineer mission mindset. Every ounce of their energy is allocated toward execution, not explanation. They aren't here to impress the crowd. They're here to build a legacy so powerful, even their absence speaks volumes. Did you know almost 70% of viewers aren't subscribed? Subscribe now and turn your potential into results every single day. You ever notice how the strongest people in the room are the quietest? They don't waste time proving themselves. They don't flex. They don't boast. They don't seek approval because they know something most people don't. Power isn't in the announcement, it's in the execution. See, weak people need validation. They talk about their plans before they even take the first step. They crave recognition before they've earned it, but real hustlers, they understand that every word spoken about a goal is energy wasted, and when you waste energy, you delay success. Think about a lion hunting. You don't hear it roaring before it strikes. It moves in silence, calculated, focused, because the second it makes noise, the prey runs. The opportunity is gone. That's how life works. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the more people doubt you, question you, or even plot against you. Some will try to discourage you. Others will try to steal your ideas. Some will pretend to support you, but secretly hope you fail. Why give them that chance? Successful people move differently. They protect their energy. They let their work do the talking. While the world is busy making noise, they are making progress. Most people don't get this. They confuse noise with movement. They think if they keep talking about what they're going to do, it somehow brings them closer to success. But the truth, all that talking does is create an illusion of progress. It makes them feel like they're working when they're really standing still. Now, let's talk about the ones who actually make it. They wake up before the sun, grind when nobody's watching, and stay locked in while others are distracted. They don't seek credit. They don't need applause. They understand that silence is a weapon. And when the time is right, when they've put in the work, when they've built something real, that's when the world finally hears them. In today's dopamine-driven world, most people can't even focus for 5 minutes without checking a screen. They need constant reassurance, likes, shares, someone telling them,
they're on the right track. But the real ones, the silent grinders, they're tuned out and locked in. They don't need a cheer squad. They're too focused on hitting their next target to worry about applause. Their focus is a superpower. They crave that little hit of validation, that reassurance that they're on the right path. But the truth, that need for validation, is the very thing holding them back. Because while they're looking around, the real hustlers are looking ahead. See, success isn't about being the loudest or the most liked. It's not about convincing people that you're grinding. It's about actually grinding. It's about waking up with a mission and locking in so hard that nothing and no one can pull you off track. No distractions, no shortcuts, no approval needed. Most people waste their best energy trying to impress the world. They want to be seen grinding more than they want to actually grind. They want applause before they've even finished the race. But the ones who win, they don't care who's watching. They don't care if nobody believes in them. They don't need permission to be great. Focus is a discipline. It's a skill. And the silent hustlers, they've mastered it. While others are busy scrolling, talking, looking for quick wins, silent hustlers are building. They understand that every second wasted on distractions is a second stolen from their goals. They know that success isn't built in a day. It's built in the small, disciplined moments that nobody sees. Think about the greats, the ones who changed the game, the ones who went from nothing to legendary. You didn't hear about them when they were grinding in the dark. Nobody was cheering for them when they were broke, unknown, and working in silence. But they kept going. They stayed locked in. They understood that the only validation that matters is results. And when they finally stepped into the light, when their work was undeniable, that's when the world had no choice but to respect them. You see, true strength never needs to announce itself. It's felt, it's recognized, not in the volume of someone's words, but in the consistency of their actions. It's in how someone stands back up when no one sees, how they keep moving forward when the world gives them no credit. Loud people seek recognition. Strong people already know who they are. But what about the struggles? What about the nights when everything is falling apart? What about the times when you're breaking inside but you refuse to quit? That's where strength is built. That's where character is forged. See, weak people crumble under pressure. The moment things get hard, they start complaining. They look for sympathy. Let's make one thing clear: the world doesn't pay you for your suffering. It doesn't owe you success for your effort alone. What it does respond to is results, action, progress. Silent hustlers know this. They don't romanticize the grind, they get through it. Because they understand the only thing that commands respect is visible outcome. Life doesn't stop and say, "You've been through enough, here's a shortcut." No, you either push through or you get left behind. Simple as that. Look at the ones who dominate. The ones who rise above the rest, they've been through hell. They've taken the losses, the betrayals, the failures, but you never saw them break. You never heard them complain. You never saw them asking for sympathy. Because they knew something deep down. The struggle was their advantage. Pain hardens you. It sharpens your mind. It forces you to grow in ways comfort never could. Every setback, every obstacle, every moment of doubt is shaping you into someone stronger, someone who can take the hits and keep moving, someone who doesn't need to announce their struggles because they're too busy turning them into fuel. That's why real strength is silent. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't seek attention. It's built in the moments when nobody sees, and it shows up when the world least expects it. There's a power in being underestimated. When people don't see you coming, they don't prepare for you, they don't take you seriously. They overlook you, count you out, assume you're just another nobody. And that's exactly why you win. See, most people crave recognition. They want the world to know they're grinding. They want people to acknowledge their potential. But in doing that, they give up their greatest weapon, the element of surprise. Think about the most dangerous fighters. They don't telegraph their punches. They don't warn their opponents. They wait. They calculate. They move with precision. And when they strike, it's over before the other side even knows what happened. That's how silent hustlers operate. They don't make noise. They don't flex their plans. They don't announce their next move. They just work. And while everyone else is distracted, running their mouths, trying to prove themselves, the silent ones are building in the shadows. And then one day, they show up. And suddenly the people who ignored them can't stop talking about them. The ones who laughed at them can't understand how they did it. The same world that doubted them is now calling them lucky. But it wasn't luck. It was strategy. Because when nobody expects you to win, you control the battlefield. You dictate the term. You strike when the time is right. And by the time they notice, it's already too late. So let them sleep on you. Let them doubt you. Let them assume you're not a threat. Just keep working. Keep sharpening your skills. Keep stacking your wins in silence. Because when the time comes and you finally reveal what you've been building, there won't be a damn thing they can do to stop you. People remember results. They remember impact. They remember what you built, what you changed, what you left behind. But they don't remember the noise. They don't remember the ones who talked a big game, but never backed it up. The world is filled with people who love to talk about success. They post about their grind, brag about their future, and act like they've already made it before they've even started. But when it's time to show results, silence. Because talking is easy, execution is what separates the real from the fake. See, silent hustlers understand something that most people don't. Your legacy isn't built on what you say, it's built on what you do. Every great leader, every innovator, every game changer in history, they weren't remembered for their words. They were remembered for the impact their actions had on the world. An impact doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen because you got a few likes, a few claps, a few people cheering for you. It happens because day after day you showed up, you put in the work, you created something that couldn't be ignored. Most people chase attention. They want fame before they've earned it. But attention fades. Legacy lasts. Ask yourself, what are you really building? Are you looking for quick recognition? Or are you building something that will outlive you? Are you chasing claps? Or are you creating value that will be talked about for years to come? The loud ones burn out fast. They spend so much energy trying to convince the world they're great that they forget to actually become great. But the silent ones, they move differently. They're not looking for approval. They're looking to leave a mark so deep that even when they're gone, their work still speaks. Because in the end, you won't be remembered for what you promised to do. You'll be remembered for what you actually did. It doesn't matter how many times you talk about your goals or how loud you shout about your intentions. The world will only ever respect one thing: results. Words are cheap. Plans are easy to make. Anyone can talk about what they're going to do, what they want to achieve, but when it's time to actually deliver, when it's time to show up, the talkers fade away. The ones who are all noise and no action get left behind, while the silent hustlers keep grinding day after day, producing real tangible outcomes. Think about it. How many people do you know who talk a big game, but never actually deliver? They've got all the right words, all the right intentions, but when the dust settles, there's nothing to show for it. They fade into the background because intentions don't pay the bills. They don't build empires. They don't create impact. On the other hand, the silent hustlers, the ones who keep their heads down and their focus sharp, they're the ones who rise. They're the ones who create something from nothing. They're the ones who show the world that talk is irrelevant.
The only thing that matters is what you can produce. The reality is, the world doesn't care about your struggles, your setbacks, or your plans for greatness. The world cares about what you do. It cares about the results you create. It respects the people who show up every single day and produce. Regardless of how hard things get, regardless of the obstacles in their way, results don't need a speech. They don't need an explanation. They don't need anyone's approval. The moment you produce something real, the world will take notice. And when they do, they won't care about how many hours you spend explaining it or how many people you told about it. They'll only care about the fact that you delivered. That's the power of results. They speak for themselves. They don't need a crowd to validate them. They don't need anyone to confirm their worth. The world rewards those who can produce. And the silent hustlers, they've mastered that. So, stop wasting time talking. Stop telling people what you're going to do. Show them. Let your results do the talking for you. And when the world finally sees what you've built, they won't be able to deny you. Because results always speak louder than words ever could. If what I just said hit you in your core, if you felt that fire ignite inside you, then you're exactly who I'm talking to. You're a silent hustler in the making. This isn't just talk. This is your wake-up call reminder that while the world is busy shouting, flexing, and proving itself, you have the power to do something far greater. Show up. Not with noise. Not with validation-chasing posts. but with discipline, with direction, and with relentless execution when no one's watching. Drop a comment below right now with one goal you're silently working toward. Let this community of silent warriors know what you're building in the shadows. And hit that subscribe button not for likes, not for the algorithm, but because silent hustlers stick together. Every time you return here, I'll be here pushing you forward, challenging you to go deeper, reminding you of the strength, brilliance, and quiet fire that's always been inside you, even when the world tried to make you forget. Because you weren't made for mediocrity. You weren't built for comfort. You were created to build, to lead, and to rise. And remember this, they don't need to hear you coming. They don't need announcements. They just need to witness the undeniable evidence of what you've built when you arrive. Let your results speak louder than any speech. Let your consistency, your character, and your discipline speak volumes without saying a single word. Now get back to work. Stay focused. Stay silent. Stay relentless. Because the world isn't waiting for your opinions, it's waiting for your impact. It's waiting to be shaken by what only you were born to create. Thank you for being here. This message isn't just motivation, it's a challenge, a call to commit, to trust yourself like never before, to show the world what happens when silence meets unstoppable drive. So, if this spoke to you, don't scroll past. Subscribe to Stoic today right now and join a community of doers, not talkers, builders, not braggarts. Share in the comments what you're working on quietly because your fire might be the spark someone else needs. Share this with someone you believe is destined for more because greatness multiplies when we rise together. Start now. Stay consistent. Let the world feel your silence and be moved by your results.